ManMofona, a Chamorro term meaning those who came first. Chamorros, according to Pigafetta, were the people here when Spain's slow seafaring vessels were first rescued by the great warriors of the soon-to-be-named Mariana Islands, an archipelago that has been inhabited for over 4,000 years. Hafaday, Wahoo si Jackie Joy Cruz, and I have a story to share with you. Our story begins on the beautiful island of Guam, in the village of Pago Bay, where, like anywhere else, a family is trying to build a place to call home. Let's meet the family whose property is being developed.
Hi, my name is Perez. This is my land which we're planning on building a house. But as you know, on our culture and heritage, there's a lot of ancient Chamorros buried, a lot of bodies that weren't found even. My grandfather's first wife refused to go with the Japanese, so she was shot and killed here, and they never found her body. And then I found out there was a lot of Chamorros, and then they found the Japanese bunkers on the other side where the other pago project's at. Back in the day, this was back in the 70s or 60s, they weren't strict on historical preservation on like our people and the bones.
Oh yeah.
What happens is the military is accused of this, just digging up. This area was disturbed so many times. One particular time was in '91 when Uri hit. This whole place flooded out, and the mayor had backhoes come in and clear the area, not knowing that they're moving stuff around.
Yeah.
So their intentions wasn't to disturb.
Yeah, they didn't know.
Yeah.
They didn't know anything was underneath, right? That's what I heard about that other development over there. They won't find much because that place was cleared by the military. There used to be a shooting range over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, I guess what started the upper was the whole Tuman thing. Remember when they found
the Nico project?
One femur.
Yeah, okay.
Found one femur, one arm bone, and then they found ribs.
Wow.
But I guess because but he said they're adults, none of them are children. But he cannot determine they're female or male. Everything we know about is through word of mouth. Passed down from generation to generation. My grandmother told me this, my auntie told me this. And we even have relatives sometimes drive by, oh hey boy, did you know this was this was that?
The object the archaeologist is handing our cameraman is a fossil. Can you identify what kind of fossil this is? Is it A human, B, a fish, C, a crab, or D, a bird? First of all, what is a fossil? Fossils are the remains of an animal or plant preserved from an earlier era inside a rock or geologic deposit, often as an impression or in a petrified state like this specimen. Now, let's get back to the question. What kind of fossil is this? If you guess B, a fish fossil, you're right. This is a Briango plate of a parrotfish. This fish bone lies within the throat of the native fish of the Marianas, like Tugisan, Lagua, or Tuhum. ManMofona, a Chamorro term meaning those who came first. Chamorros, according to Pigafetta, were the people here when Spain's slow seafaring vessels were first rescued by the great warriors of the soon-to-be-named Mariana Islands, an archipelago that has been inhabited for over 4,000 years. Pago Bay offers a freshwater river, as well as freshwater spring near the GWA station at the foot of the hill. Along with the bay and valley, this made Pago an ideal place to live. Today, latte sites are found within the valley's interior. The village of Pago was listed on maps as far back as 1675 by Padre Alonso Lopez, a Catholic priest during the Spanish Chamorro War. Pago was one of 3 rivers noted by the early Spanish writers on the east side of Guam, Ilic, and Talafofo the others. Chamorros were businessmen who bartered and traded among each other with Spanish galleons and other islands. The active participation in trade fueled the economy of the times. Under the Spanish, Pago was a small pueblo as opposed to the thriving village it was under the Chamorros. It was one of 6 main pueblos under Spain for over 150 years. The others were Hagatna, Agate, Umatic, Maritzo, and Inarajan. This ended in 1856 when Pago was wiped out by smallpox. Pago was never populated again until after World War II, some 100 years later. It was set aside to house lepers in 1891, including an infirmary. This was devastated less than a year later by a typhoon in 1892. Many surviving Pago residents received permission to resettle in Saipan, as did others from Guam who were fearful or despondent over the loss of loved ones.
Okay, my name is Mike Carson, and today I'm representing International Archaeological Research Institute, Incorporated. This is IARIE, and my company was hired by Prince Perez to work on his house lot, which is where we are, right behind me here. We began excavating for the location of the septic tank. It's the deep pit there. And in that, we found evidence of, some disturbance actually. There's been different time periods and layers of occupation from when people were living here.
This is not a typical archaeological dig. Mike is just monitoring the construction work by guiding the excavator to minimize and avoid further damage to any remains. They took some time off to consider moving the leaching field, the septic tank, and some other issues. Under normal conditions, archaeologists have to work under a time constraint.
What part of the kind of fracture is this is
From twisting?
broken, yeah. It wasn't cut.
What part of the leg is that? That's this part, or
That's the tip. The hard bone.
I've done my time in this crazy world. What trails have I left behind? But no matter what I've done, I know I can always come home. So take me home from the beach to the bay. Take me home to good old Cambridge Way. Take me home, 'cause there's nowhere else I'd rather be than to come back to the place that made me me. I'm coming home.